This is the Ozone sauna setup video. First things first, you want to ensure that we're plugged in here on the side, and you'll know if you are when these red letters are on. We're going to open up the door, and we got to get the distilled water below in this compartment. So we're going to take off the seat from the ridge, and we're going to open it up, and our desired height is right below this outer silver rim. Once the distilled water is filled up, we can close it back and find our desired height for the patient. The shorter the patient, the higher you will be on the ridge, and the taller patients will be on the lower end. Once we have the seat fully inserted, I'm going to take a blue towel. I prefer these ones just because they're a little bit thinner. We're going to hook it up to these back corners right here, so we know that their backs aren't touching the back end of the sauna, because it could potentially get a little hot. From here, all we're going to do is close it up. We're going to take a towel and place it on the top so we can keep the heat trapped inside when we turn it on. From here, we're going to go to our little digital point here. We're going to click on, set to 60 minutes at 115 degrees Fahrenheit. The total treatment time will be 20 minutes, and our desired temperature is 115 degrees. It is preferred to have 30 minutes beforehand so we can let the ozone sauna reach its desired temperature. When the ozone sauna has reached its desired temperature and the patient has arrived, we can then start the process. To start things off, we're going to remove this towel and have the patient walk on in pretty quickly so we don't lose too much heat. Once they've taken a seat, we want to make sure that their shoulders aren't touching the top here. If they are, then the seat is too high and we want to lower it down 1 or 2 ridges. It is also preferred to have a bathing suit on so we can allow for the ozone and oxygen to seep into the tissues. Wrap the towel around their neck like so to ensure that the heat stays trapped during the treatment time. From here, we're going to head to the time, and we're going to set it to 20 minutes. And once it is set to 20, now the treatment begins. We're going to look down here to the equipment, and we're going to turn on the carbon dioxide for 5 minutes long. Once 5 minutes has passed, we're going to turn it off fully, and then we're going to turn on the oxygen and turn it to the left. Once this is turned on, we're going to count to 30 seconds. When 30 seconds has passed, we then move up to the ozone, and we change this left dial on ozone 1 all the way to 4. When the arrow reaches the 4, then we let this wait for the last 15 minutes with the oxygen and the ozone on together. When the timer has reached 0, now we can turn things off. We turn off the ozone dial, and we lock up the oxygen fully. When we ensure that all of these are off, we can step on up, turn off the ozone sauna itself, remove this towel, and they can make their way out. Cleaning the ozone sauna is relatively simple. To start, we want to ensure that we're unplugged here, so we have no electricity running. Double check that all of these knobs are turned all the way to the right and off, and that our ozone is down. We can also double check that this panel is off to make sure that we have this matching here. After the ozone treatment, you will notice that there's a lot of moisture collected all on the inside here. I like to take a towel and I wipe down thoroughly all of the borders to make sure that we get any excess water. I also wipe down the seat, underneath the mat and above. And then the last thing to do is to remove this footboard, as a lot of water piles up underneath, and you would wipe down there as well. Once that is wiped down, I like to do myself a favor and make sure that the water is to the level it should be for the next patient that comes in. So I take off that top, find my distilled water like before, and fill this compartment one more time for the next patient. I also like to let this air out for a good 20 minutes before closing it, so we can let the air breathe. And then once 20 minutes has gone by, you can then close the ozone sauna, do one more sweep, make sure everything is turned off, and then you're good.